Like, it's still, our fans are still like, I love this song, this is Voyager. And that's like, you know, there's no greater feeling than that, hearing that from your fans. So, yes, winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Absolutely. Well, so couldn't have put it better myself, that. Hey guys, James Wilson-Taylor here for Roxanne. We are in Liverpool. It is Eurovision week, and the Australian entrant joins me now. We've got Voyager. How are you guys?
Great. How are you?
Not too bad.
Absolutely brilliant.
Good stuff. I'm glad to hear that. Welcome to the UK, first of all. Let's start there. And how has this week been? I'm sure you've been asked that a lot, but I think a lot of people don't necessarily realise it ain't just one night, this concert. No. This is like a whole week of events, right? How's it all been treating you so far?
It's been awesome. We've been told multiple times, look, it's a marathon, not a sprint, you know. Reserve your energies, you know. So, no, it's really been an awesome experience. We've never had so many people talk to us about Voyager. So all eyes are on us, and it's surreal, man. Absolutely surreal. Yeah,
it's just, and yeah, we've actually had a lot longer than a week of preparing for this.
Oh, gotcha, of course.
We're at the pre-parties as well
from
April, so I'm actually kind of glad we did that, because it's kind of eased us into the chaos a little bit more, so we've kind of been a bit more prepared for it. But yeah, it's just been absolutely incredible, like the support we've received, not only from all the pre-parties that we've gone to, but also back home in Australia has just been phenomenal.
I mean, how familiar were you guys? I mean, obviously Australia's been in the contest for a few years now, and I know it's had a big following out there for years and years and years, but I guess it's always been a staple over here. It's more of a recent addition to the Australian calendar, right? How familiar were you guys with the contest? How into it were you kind of before you actually got involved?
It's pretty popular in Australia.
Great.
Yeah, I mean, the EBU, they've been part of the EBU for like 40, 50 years, so like... Wow. It's been a long-standing relationship, and it's been televised for years. We have a lot of European background in Australia, well, white Australia.
Yes.
So there's a lot of multiculturalism there.
Of course.
So yeah, it's really popular over there.
Amazing, amazing. So then let's get into the actual performance and the actual track. So Promise is the track that's going to be performed in the semi-final, just coming up. Tell me a bit about, I guess, writing that song, but also I'm curious, why did that track in particular feel like that's the Eurovision one? That's the one we've got to do for the contest.
We definitely put our eggs in one basket. Danny kind of came in with the original hook, and I feel like the lyrics were almost egging us on as musicians, because, you know, that, have you ever done anything like this before? And I was like, well, no, actually. Yeah. This was the first song that we actually constructed with Eurovision in mind as well. So our entry last year, Dreamer, was actually a 4-ish minute song that we had to cut down. So we just like slice and dice that song until it was in the 3-minute window. And this time around, we really got the opportunity to construct the song thinking about the staging, thinking about what Eurovision is as a contest, what we think a good Eurovision song should have, which is drama, intrigue, a good build, a crushing moment, a left hook, epic guitar solo. Thank you, Simone. You know, all of these things that we wanted to try and push into a 3-minute song. Yeah. So it was a very different approach for us than what we would normally do. But we've got a new record coming out in July 14, Fearless in Love. And we took a lot of those elements of songwriting from how to write a Eurovision song and placed it into the record as well. So it's really influenced us more broadly speaking as well.
That's really interesting, because you can hear on this track as well, I mean, particularly like, I mean, you just dropped another single as well, which is kind of a heavier take on things, but it's nice that it doesn't just necessarily stick to the one genre. It feels cohesive, which is impressive, but it does start. You've got the synth pop in there. Yeah. We've got a little bit of a heavy breakdown in there too. You know, it's got to be kind of a balancing act, particularly when it comes to like a Eurovision song, like you say, to kind of, how do we get that exact balance right? How do we kind of walk that tightrope a little bit?
Exactly, and still make it sound like a Voyager song as well. That was very important to us, and I think we did really well with it, to be honest. Yeah, like it's still, our fans are still like, I love this song. This is Voyager, and that's like, you know, there's no greater feeling than that, hearing that from your fans. So, yes, winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Absolutely. Well, so couldn't have put it better myself there. It's got to be nice as well. I think it's going to be a theme of something I'm going to talk about with everybody today, but really, it's no secret that in the last few years in particular, it feels like it was always open to rock music, Eurovision, but it feels like maybe the rock scene's caught up to it a little bit more. It's people see that it doesn't have to be an uncool thing that maybe some small-minded people thought in the past. It can open up a whole career, and I feel like this genre of music is really embracing it a lot more. It's got to be lovely to be here at this kind of moment where you can see so many other kind of rock bands that do very different things to yourself, but are still very much in that world, are a part of the contest this year.
Absolutely. I think it's cool seeing more rock music, and we've been saying this in other interviews that it's rock and metal is theatre.
Yeah,
you go and see an
100%.
Iron Maiden show, and it's fucking epic.
Yeah.
Like, there's explosions going off. It is literally just Eurovision, but at a metal festival, right?
Yeah.
So it to us, it's always made sense that rock and metal would be a bigger contingent of what Eurovision would be as a whole. So yeah, it is. I think it's an awesome celebration of the diversity of music, and like the diversity of heavy music too. We get compared to Lord of the Lost quite a bit, and like we love those guys. We don't really sound like them, though.
No, you do very different things.
Yeah, so as someone who's a metal aficionado and has spent their time in the genre would detect that almost instantly. But as someone who's new to the genre, which I assume is probably the majority of people watching, just making a guess there, would probably hear similarities rather than differences. So, but this is their first experience to see two heavy bands near each other that really don't sound anything alike. So they get an idea of the diversity just within rock and metal music as well, which I think is super cool.
But what a great entry point for new audiences as well. And I think that's got to be so exciting for you guys, because we mentioned the album is coming, the album is on the way. Yeah. It's got to be so exciting to know that this is almost going to be a launch pad for, like we say, people who maybe even haven't listened to heavy music before are suddenly going to discover this band. I mean, you've got to be keeping that momentum going. I mean, it's interesting you said that you almost had Eurovision influences then coming into the rest of the record. Clearly this has been a bit of a learning point for you guys, right, musically?
Oh, absolutely. Trying to condense everything into 3 minutes and still have it captivate your listener,
right,
and you not hating it as well and actually enjoying what you've written is absolutely, it's so hard.
Yeah.
Like I take my hat off to all past and present writers at the moment that are doing Eurovision, because it's not an easy task. And so it really made us sit back when we were doing the record and go, what is actually necessary in this song? What doesn't need to be here? Does there need to be 6,000 guitar parts in this section? No, there doesn't. Can we just have bass and keys in this section? Can it just be Danny being vulnerable? So we've really just honed in on the song more than anything else now. And I mean, this is the best album we've ever written. And I know everyone says that when they release a new album, but hands down, this is like the best work we've done.
Everyone says it, but I can tell when they mean it, and you mean it.
Yeah.
So that's something.
Genuine.
There you go.
Genuine.
You can always tell. We've got to talk the performance, haven't we? I mean, we're chatting right now at the time of recording ahead of the semi-final. It's Wednesday now. Yeah. So tell me a little bit about preparation of that, because it's not like a normal live show. You have to think about TV cameras, you have to think about all manner of other things. What's that process been like for you guys?
I mean, just thank God that we had the opportunity to do Australia Decides last year.
Right, sure.
Because like that set us up for what we needed to do. And we're so used to just like getting on the stage and just going gung-ho the whole set. And trying to give as much energy as possible. We can be anywhere on the stage we like, but this time around it's like, no, you have to be stationed here so the camera can actually capture you, so you don't just run off shot, which looks awkward and weird, right? So we have like station places. It's almost like, I kind of see it as little placeholders. You're like, okay, you need to be here for this. What you do around that is totally cool, but you have to try and meet these like marker points within the song, Our particular performance, I feel, maybe compared to the other bands, is that we have more of a cinematic element to what we're doing. There's more of a story being told. So, there's like quite a bit of focus on Danny, but then once it opens up to the band, it's like a real moment.
Right. Cool.
So there are these cool, like, structured points in the performance that really highlight all of the best parts of the song. So, plus we've got a car on stage, which is pretty sick.
It's always a bonus when you can chuck that in. Bury the lead there. Bury the lead in that one. Guys, I know you're incredibly busy today. One more question before I let you go. I'm going to be asking everybody this. I want the dream Eurovision collab. Past or present Eurovision performers, if there's anyone you could work with on a song, who are you going to go with? It's a big question, I know.
There's quite a few I would pick, probably.
Yeah.
I love, is it Goa
Yeah,
from Ukraine?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'd love to do some sort of like industrial, like
Nice.
post-apocalyptic bloody dance metal track with them. That would be sick.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, even from present one as well. I mean, like Taya and Selena or Cardia. I mean, there's so many awesome options. I don't know, like.
Yeah. I would love to do something with Vesna, because I think having 6 beautiful female voices on a track, a Voyager track, would just be epic. And big shout out to them. They got through their semis and their performance was stunning. I think that would just be unreal. If not them, I don't know, maybe Eleanor and Samir.
Oh, yeah.
Get some of the day after day.
So many choices we need to see happen. Guys, have a great semi-final. Have a great rest of your week. And just best of luck with everything, all right?
Thank you.
Thanks,
Chat
mate.
to you soon. Voyager, everybody.